Top of the morning, friends and fellow traders. This is Doug Campbell with Right Way Options, and this is the morning market preparation video for July 24th, 2018. So yesterday we had a little bit of a bearish push. It was a little bit worrisome there for a little while, and it looked like we might see those bulls actually, bears actually take over there. But by the end of the day, everything seemed to work out. Yesterday was really a slow and choppy day. It was as if the entire market seemed to be waiting on the Google report. But at the end of the day, we came out pretty good. First off, we had the diamonds here just barely hang on to that 250 mark or that 25,000 mark in the Dow, holding that support. Now, that is a nice thing. So what we've seen here is a pretty typical move. We move above a resistance, we come back and test it as support. And now what we're seeing this morning is we're seeing this bullish move. It looks like we're going to have a gap up of nearly 100 points or more. After that really strong Google earnings report, you can see we're popping up here. So we have a great situation here in the diamonds. We move above resistance, we test it as support. Buyers step in, supporting that. That's exactly the kind of pattern that we want to see in a market. Let's take a look at the SPY. SPY did even a better job yesterday, showing signs of that bullishness even yesterday. And remember, this is kind of a key support level that we have now tested. And you can see right here, we're testing that support level. And now we're getting that follow through gap up open this morning, looking like we're going to push higher, holding on to, recovering and holding on to this uptrend, which is a very bullish sign for the indexes. Let's take a look at the Qs. Qs also doing the same thing, hanging in there really nicely, pushing up yesterday. Remember, we have reached out here to all-time highs just recently here in the Qs, and this little pullback to test this support level looks as if it was a successful test. Those bulls are stepping in. They stepped in yesterday slightly, and now they're gapping higher on the really good news. Looks like the Qs will open up at a new record high this morning on the back of that good Google report. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM also holding up yesterday and also this morning looking to follow through with an upside move. And we have a bit of a pattern here. It's kind of an interesting little pattern. If anyone's noticed, this is a little bit of a cup and handle type pattern in here, and a follow through breaking through to that all-time high certainly seems possible and even likely with the bullishness that we're seeing overall in the market. So good things happening here around earnings, and it seems the anticipation of those tech earnings has been proven to be held up here, at least initially, with Google reporting so strongly. And they even mentioned that it would have been better had it not been for the fines over in the EU. So just a huge move here of about 50 points here in Google overnight, and that's at least at the moment holding up and looking pretty darn strong. Let's take a look at the VIX. VIX also started up a little bit yesterday, but that reversed nicely by the end of the day, pushing back down. And this morning, I'm guessing it's going to be moving lower down toward this long-term downtrend line, catching some, maybe trying to hold this support area in here. We'll wait and see, but everything is looking good here. Let's take a look at T21. If I can get it up, T21.22. Keep pushing the wrong buttons here. T21.22, 4-week new high, new low ratio. You can see that we are right back down here in the middle. So we do have plenty of room to move to the upside. We also have plenty of room to move to the downside, or even that sideways move, which we did yesterday, that we'd rather not see again today. I'd like to see a little bit more price action, and we're getting that this morning. So the good news here is we have plenty of room. We're at no risk of reaching that overbought condition here for the time being. So we're looking really good on T21.22. Let's take a look at the earnings calendar. On the earnings calendar, we have 144 companies reporting earnings today, and they're coming out pretty fast and furious this morning. Lots of things reporting. We also have a large number of earnings reports after the bell today. So we'll have to stay on top of that as we run into the day. And this week is just a huge week with over 800 companies expected to report, and basically about 1/3 of the S&P 500 reporting just this week. So a lot of movement could happen. Stay on your toes, stay focused. You always want to be checking those earnings reports when they come out, and watching that closely, because we don't want to be caught in something that's going to move bad against us. As you can see, we had this really nice move up here going on in Verizon this morning, but let's not forget how quickly we can move lower, as we did here in Netflix, just really gapping down hard on an earnings report miss. So you want to be on top of that. Here's another, just a really good example of you paying attention to an earnings report. You want to stay on top of that. So make sure you're checking those earnings reports on anything that you hold, and also those that you are thinking about buying, because they will often produce a good entry signal in anticipation of an earnings report, and then can easily fail from there. On the economic calendar, we have just one thing today that potentially can move the market, the PMI flash. We're looking at those staying relatively positive and good. There's strength kind of across the board in services, manufacturing, and the overall composite number. So looking pretty good there. We have a couple smaller reports, the housing price index and the Richmond Fed. Neither one of those would be expected to move the market. And then also a couple bond auctions today that would not be expected to move the market. So with that, everyone, hey, we have a good day in store, at least at the moment. Dow futures currently, as I'm recording this right now, showing more than a 100-point gap up here in the market, showing lots of strength. Be real careful how you approach this. Remember, don't get caught up in these earnings in the drama. The last thing we want to do is be buying earnings at a resistance level. And what I mean by that, if we look at a stock trend, prices move up, prices pull back to trend, prices move up, prices consolidate back over to trend. What we want to avoid doing is we want to avoid buying those stocks that may be reaching or at a current price level that is showing that price resistance. So we don't want to chase stocks into a position like this. We want to wait for those good entries that are at or near price support levels. We have a lower risk trade when we do that. And I know there's a lot of folks out there that talk about, buying the breakout. That's what you want to do. But just use this chart of the diamonds, for example. Buying the breakout here would have worked for a day or two, and then a big slide. Buying the breakout here, and you would have suffered through this pullback. So remember, we want to buy at or near price support levels. And if you focus on that and don't get overly caught up in all of the drama of earnings, we want to make sure and buy those trades at the right location, not buy those based on emotional decision or that feeling, that rush feeling of missing out. We don't want to be trading on that emotion. Everyone, I want to wish you all a fantastic day. I want to wish you great profits. And if this is the first time you've seen these videos, please do me a favor. Click on that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow me button on Facebook. Click those thumbs up buttons. Drop a comment. And always feel free to share this video with any friends and family. I want to wish you all a fantastic day. I want to wish you great profits. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you all right back here bright and early Wednesday morning. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.